All right, y'all. So apparently everybody and their mother thinks VP Harris was drunk when she delivered or released her message to the public after her loss. I'm not going to use this platform to say that she's drunk. I'm not going to approve or deny that. However, I am going to say possibilities. Maybe we can put that out there. Even throughout her campaign, her relationship with alcohol was one of those topics that people kind of like just, they just dabbled and dibbed about. They never really spoke about. I try to stray away from that because honestly and truly, as someone who lives in DC and who sees Capitol Hill, especially during happy hour, everybody and their mother, that's all they do is drink out here. So she wouldn't be the first politician if she is a little bit on the, Before we begin today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media as we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I want to say with today being Thanksgiving, this is actually the first Thanksgiving I'm not celebrating with my family. It's not like we actually celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, we just use it as a day of just like coming together, kinda. I think that's what everyone does. Anyways, I just want to say I am beyond grateful and thankful for every single one of y'all, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ups, the downs, whatever you want to call it. I am so grateful for you all. I will not be where I am today if God did not place us in each other's lives at this capacity. I know some of y'all may not, I don't think some of y'all actually understand what your support means to me, especially as someone who is literally busy 20 hours of the 24 hours of the day. I continue to feel motivated to continue to push content and give y'all my feedback on certain topics, especially in the realm of politics, especially right now, and just utilizing this as a space to even uplift God's name, to bring us together at any capacity. So I just want to truly say that I appreciate y'all. I'm thankful for y'all, and I just love y'all so much. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the video. We're going to see Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz hold kind of like a virtual event for their supporters. This is the first event that they've had since the loss a couple weeks ago. So we're going to watch it, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts.
With a sense of joy, yes. With a sense of work ethic and understanding it's going to be hard, but it's good work. It's good work. To be engaged in a collective fight for America's future. And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors, you called friends, you called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game, now I need you to show up at the campaign office. You put in the time, it was personal for you. And you gave all that you could to support our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion from grassroots supporters alone. The most
people saying that she slurred her words and she had a little bit too much wine to drink, allegedly. I think that's just how she is. I think that's just how she talks, how she expresses herself. She does look tired. I mean, if you're like the Vice President of the United States plus just ran a campaign in like 100 days, she does look tired. She looks like she needs some sleep. But I wouldn't go as far and say like she's drunk. I think y'all are kind of pushing it just a little bit with that one. I do think that whenever she talks and whenever she expresses herself, she's very dramatic. She over exaggerates. It's almost like she's trying to be like fake deep in a sense, when she really could just be like, just get to the point. And so when she does that and she's like laughing and giggling, it comes off like she's like, okay, what is she on? But I don't think she's drunk. A lot of people are saying she's drunk. I don't think, honestly, this isn't her best shot in regards to video framing. But if she was, I don't think her people would put this out. I would hope her people would not put this out there. Another thing that I wanted to address, the fact that they raised the most money in presidential campaign history, like over $1 billion. Goodness gracious, I just want just the Black community for us to take a step back. The amount of money we put in towards, not even her, but just the amount of money we got together collectively to put towards a candidate. Do you know how powerful we would be if we gotten that same energy, the amount of money we've gotten together, to put it towards something that we can build off of. Not necessarily like a presidential candidate, but just like if we brought that back into our communities, if we brought that back into our education, our youth programs or something, like that is a lot of money. Like if we can strategize and come together and organize behind a candidate, why can't we do that when it comes to ourselves? Like when it comes to our own communities and so forth. Like I just think that's actually wild. Over $1 billion. You know what you could do with $1 billion? You know how many people can come out of homelessness with $1 billion? You know how much debt could be paid? Like how many small businesses can be started with $1 billion? And this is not necessarily against VP Harris. This is just in context in general. Like her aside, just the amount of money we're putting towards these presidential candidates, it's like, dang. Jeez Louise. Don't get me wrong, campaigns ain't cheap, but $1 billion? Let's continue.
Presidential campaign history. Nearly 8 million donors contributed an average donation of about $56 to fuel our people-powered campaign. And understand that the work that we did included the work that so many of you here did, which is to talk to first-time voters. Many of you are first-time voters. And to talk about how being involved can make a difference. And that remains true. And that's one of the pieces that I just want us to please take away, that our fight for freedom and for opportunity and for the promise of America, it included, for example, nearly almost 4 million first-time contributors to our campaign because of the work you did of helping people know that they can be engaged and that they're not outside, that they're inside, that we're all in this together. And that work continues. The work must continue of reminding ourselves that we have an ability to stay engaged in a way that
I just wish that when communicating, I think something that can help her specifically is that don't feel like you have to perform your style of communication. Like if she just were to speak and talk with authority, like a lot of times I've seen glimpses of that, like during her debate that she had with Trump, like just speak with authority, like the over exaggeration and the dramatizations, like we can continue, we can do, like it's just speak. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
not like we wanted it to, certainly not as we planned for it to, but understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with the work we did. Our spirit and our work was about saying that it is a strength that we each have to lift people up as opposed to beating people down. It is a strength we have that has lasting effect. So all that work that you did that was about engaging with other people, engaging with perfect strangers and in their face seeing a neighbor, that has lasting effect. It reminds people that there are leaders like you who care and will bring us together. And you know, sometimes in the darkest moments, people lose faith in that. Are there people out there that feel that way? And you reminded people that yes, there are. And there are a lot of us. And that strength cannot be taken from us. That is our strength. It cannot be taken from us. So listen, as I said the day after the election, I still strongly believe the light of America's promise will burn bright as long as we never give up and we keep fighting. And the fight that fueled our campaign, a fight for freedom and opportunity, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the dignity of all people, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the future, a future in which all people receive the promise of America? No. A fight that is about a fight for the ideals of our nation, the ideals that reflect the promise of America, that fight's not over. So look, we still have a lot to fight for, okay? A future where every American can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have a right to make decisions about their own body, not their government telling them what to do. Our fight for the rule of law, for freedom for all, for equal justice. for the sacred principle that everyone, no matter where they start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be upheld, that's not over. That fight's still in us, and it burns strong. And I know this is an uncertain time. I'm clear-eyed about that. I know you're clear-eyed about it. And it feels heavy. And I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you. Look, this mission that we have, it takes hard work. But as you've heard me say many times, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And in doing our work, we will remain committed and intentional about building community, building coalitions, reminding people that we all have so much more in common than what separates us. We will be armed with...
Listening to that, there's a level of frustration. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to yai. As y'all know, my favorite word, not going to yai. The reason why I have a level of frustration is because not necessarily against her, but the DNC in general, you've spent the last 3.5, almost 4 years saying Donald Trump is the next Hitler. He's a threat to democracy. Had people thinking that we're going to go back to slavery. Had people thinking that the U.S. is going to leave NATO and do all these bad things. But then again, it's like the way her and Joe Biden not necessarily spoke, but how they're acting with the peaceful transition, which I 100% applaud. I always believe in peaceful transitions, especially with on both sides at that. But it's just like, you spent all this time putting fear in the American people, fear-mongering, just to not even believe the words coming out of your mouth in regards to saying that he's going to be the next Hitler. I think that's kind of messed up. I think it's kind of messed up to use the word Hitler to describe someone and then try to double back and say, oh, we're going to be okay. It's not I don't know. It's very not authentic, very inauthentic for one. For those who follow me know, I can be really hard on Donald Trump, but I've never used my platform to label him as Hitler. I never used my platform to label him as the next dictator. I think something that I'm learning and something that God has taught me, and mind you, I'm not perfect, but is to be responsible with my words. That's why it is hard for me sometimes to express certain things, because I have to understand that this is a platform, whether 50 people see it or 5,000 people see it or 5 million people see it, that I am responsible for my words. So when people use words like that so lightly and compare Donald Trump to a dictator and Hitler and made people feel as if their life is over if he were to become president, I thought that was irresponsible. I think that was very, very irresponsible, not only within the DNC and the narrative they were pushing, but media. It's almost like you can't even run away from it. That's all you heard every top of the hour. Donald Trump is this. Donald Trump is that. Donald Trump is this. And it's very exhausting, and it's very telling, because the same people who are saying that, it's very much okay. And that goes back to my previous video with when I made that reaction of The View and Morning Joe. Now that I'm looking back, I see where Sunny was coming from in regards to her feeling some type of way, because Morning Joe, they were the main people that were talking bad about Trump, and for them to go to Mar-a-Lago and speak to them and so forth. I understand more, even though I still feel like Morning Joe did something bad for speaking with them. I do think it was kind of eerie and kind of okay, why are you doing it off the record? But that's neither here or there. But nevertheless, I just think that even moving forward, people just really need to be more responsible with their words. Even Donald Trump, I think he says a lot of things that maybe people think, but also that level of maturity to know not to just spit out everything that comes to your mind. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. People were thinking that she was a little bit under the influence, a little alcohol, a little buzz. I don't think she was. If she was, then there's nothing really, I don't know. She really just looks tired. She looks sleep deprived. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. How do you feel about her addressing the public for the first time since the loss. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Udoak, connecting people with policy. Toodles!